this book charted as a fashion bestseller on Amazon. This book was written by a professional stylist and a bona fide French woman. This book is said to lay out all the secrets and tips straight from French women themselves. Voila, here it is. How to be Chic and Elegant by author Marie-Anne Leceour, if you can see here. So, is the book everything it's cracked up to be? And did it help me in my own personal style journey? Stay tuned to find out more. So, I read the book in like an hour or so. Not even a book, even it's more like a little pamphlet for fashion tips. So, what I'm gonna do is talk about like the general goal of this book, then cover some of the chapters a little, and then reveal how much this book has impacted my life. So over here in the beginning, in the introduction and the general tips section, we're given a rundown of what chic means. It's not just what we wear according to the book, but it's also a lifestyle, which makes sense. Keep in mind that the mainstream French look is to look casual chic or like effortless chic, and this is the type of look that our author here incorporates into this little pamphlet, as you'll see in a minute. The next chapter is tips for body shapes, as you can see here. Okay, she gave some very important advice for setting up a basic palette for your clothing choices. So like, she also gives a couple tips on the types of clothes to pair your body shape with. So for instance, I'm slim, which means I can show off my athletic figure, but when it comes to showing flesh, I have to keep it balanced. So if I show the leg area, I have to keep it more covered in the chest area, and vice versa. And then after that, we're getting to my favorite chapter in the book, which is covering the clothes. This chapter is divided into a couple sections, which includes like dresses, skirts, suits, cardigans, trousers, coats, and colors, just to name a few. A couple of pages, maybe one or two at a time, are dedicated to each section. And at this point, I'm thinking I'll give you some highlights that personally stood out to me. So one example is the little black dress. The little black dress is very versatile, and it doesn't have to be exclusively restricted to evening wear. And if you read any French style blogs, or you've watched the movie Coco before Chanel, you watched a couple French series, or even Breakfast in Tiffany's, a classic, you'll see that the black dress is a really famous fashion staple. Another section that is covered is on suits. She says everybody should have suits, and to that I totally agree. Finally, somebody who speaks my style language. She also says not to wear shorts. That one I found a little sad because I wear shorts and because I think my legs actually look pretty good in them. Yeah. Well, if you disagree with me, that's fine, you know, agree to disagree, but I'll keep the shorts because, you know, I love my legs. I love showing them off, okay? She also says absolutely no leggings unless you pair it with something long, like a long dress shirt or, yeah. Marie-Anne is very adamant about that, and honestly, I always was too. So if you're watching this and you're like, I can wear whatever you want, look, you can. I'm just saying, I'm just getting confirmation bias from a French stylist. And then she goes on about colors, and two of them that stood out to me. Tip number one is that red is a stunning color on a woman. And if it's not too much to say, I think I'm yeah, if it's not too much to say, I guess I'm a testimony of that, because everyone says that the red lipstick I'm wearing today befits me, and it matches the palette. It contrasts with this color over here, I think, so I'm pretty happy. I think red looks pretty good on me. Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna reapply lipstick. La-di-da, la-di-da. You know what? I'm gonna be the la-di-da girl for Halloween.
La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la, yeah.
Annie Hall, have you watched the movie? Here's some gloss. Oh, my camera's acting up. I don't know if the French are as enthusiastic about gloss as I am. To be honest, I'm not if it's too sticky, but this gloss is alright. Right, so where were we again? Right, the color red is always the answer. Was it Audrey Hepburn that said Paris is always the answer? Right, so just like Paris is always the answer, you can attest that for the color red too. Second, right, bright colors. You can pull off bright colors, but there should be no more than 3 colors in all on the same outfit. Which is, by the way, a very Frenchy style tip that I also heard about before. Okay, yeah. Well, admittedly, I sometimes cheat and I wear more than 3 colors, but you know, then again, I'm not really a good epitome of the French chic style. Some other clothes tips I found were pretty standard stuff for sure. So like, be sure to wear something comfortable. Be sure to get a good jacket that's actually warm. Like, yeah, no kidding. Don't wear pirate style trousers, and a couple more minimal clothes tips based on your body shape. Alright, next up, I'm going to cover shoes and makeup, which are also some main factors in defining your look. So like, for shoes for instance, be sure that they're really comfortable. Do they pinch? Are the straps too tight? Are you comfortable with the heel size? These are all factors that you have to consider when you're getting shoes. Yeah, okay. So on one hand, I thought those tips were a little obvious, but on the other hand, the message wasn't completely all lost on me because I heard that the Parisians really, well, the French, okay, let's not generalize all the French as the Parisians. You'll offend a Frenchie for sure saying that, but I heard that the French really prioritize comfort more than we Americans may, because the French are more likely to cover long distance on foot. And then there were a couple like tips for shoe care and shoe repair, just the general things. And then for the chapter on handbags, here's a good tip that stood out for me. Petite ladies, do not wear large handbags. They'll look kind of clunky on you. And then vice versa for large ladies, don't wear small bags on yourself. And then for the makeup section, here is one tip that sums up pretty much everything that Marie-Anne had to say. Less is more. Yeah, for sure. It's the French way, and I think it's another reason why I think the author doesn't delve too much in all the details about makeup in this pamphlet. So basically, wear some lipstick, maybe some concealer for coverage, maybe some mascara, but nothing that really takes up an entire hour. So like, for instance, if you're gonna emphasize your lips, like I did today, don't do the same for your eyes. Like, don't stack on a lot of like eyeshadow, and vice versa. If you're gonna stack on eyeshadow, dress down the lips with some nude color. Okay, yeah, cool. Very nice French tips. In conclusion, our author gives us 3 tips that keep consistent with the entire theme of the book. Keep it simple, less is more, and quality over quantity. I do see that pattern throughout the book, and honestly, I can agree with it when it comes to, you know, dressing up and pairing yourself with all kinds of different fashion looks. Okay, so what's my verdict on the book? Okay, I'm gonna tread lightly because I think my experience reading this is going to be different from someone else's. For starters, it's a good little pamphlet for basic fashion tips and tricks, but ultimately, it did kind of leave me wanting more. A lot of the tips that our author highlights in this book, I found already in a lot of French-style blog posts. That's not a bad thing in itself, but if you're someone like me who's already absorbed the basics of the classy French chic look and wants more than just reiterations or rehashes from basic French style blogs, you're probably going to be left wanting more. The funny thing is, I've actually already incorporated a lot of these tips into my personal repertoire long before I even heard of this book. So, and I hate what I'm about to say, but some of these tips do come off as painfully obvious, even to absolute amateurs, for whom, by the way, I think this book is probably best geared to. So, like, for instance, she says, don't walk barefoot. I mean, yeah, no kidding. If I had to rate this book, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5 stars. That being said, add a star or maybe even 2 if you consider yourself an absolute amateur in fashion and you have no sense of personal style whatsoever. But on that note, this reminds me, do you know who needs this book the most? Emily from Emily in Paris. Yes, yes! She needs that book so much. Okay, have you ever seen the TV show? Okay, have you seen then how much her outfits, they just clash? And like there is even an entire like mini phenomena over her clothes online, I swear. Like remind me one day to make a video recreating some of her looks. That should be fun. Please note that I'm not a fashion expert personally. I just know what looks good on me, makeup, hair, and style-wise. I've done a couple years of experimentation, accumulating chic pieces and mixing and matching them all the time. And you know what? I got better. It's Marie-Anne Leceour here, who is a really good stylist, not me. She's the one who's got experience, not me. But if you're looking for more educational material that goes into even greater details about clothing, looks, and examples, you'll probably find it somewhere like in her YouTube channel, or maybe even like in another book like Fashionpedia. Fashionpedia, yeah, not related to Marie-Anne Leceour, but I'm just pointing out like another book that I've been keeping an eye out on. Yeah, and I think it deserves worth repeating that I think you'll find a lot more content on the author's vlog videos instead of like on the book, because she goes into lots more detail there, so I'll link it down below. So, upon hearing this book review, how do you feel about it? Would you read it? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments section. But that's just my personal opinion and rundown of the book. Whether it's gonna fit your palette is strictly up to you. With that being said, I've run out of content, and so I conclude by thus saying, best of luck to you on your fashion journey.